Time is the currency of life. Why chasing money keeps you poor, based on DeMarco's The Millionaire Fastlane. Introduction. Most people believe money is the ultimate goal. They organize their entire lives around earning more of it. More hours, more effort, more stress, more sacrifice. They wake up before dawn, commute in traffic, sit in meetings they didn't schedule, respond to emails they don't care about, and repeat this cycle for decades, all in pursuit of a paycheck. But very few ever stop to ask a deeper, more uncomfortable question. What if money is not the real currency of life? In The Millionaire Fastlane, DeMarco reveals a truth that instantly changes how you see work, wealth, and success. Time is the only currency that truly matters. Think about it. Money can be earned again. Lost money can be replaced. Spent money can be recouped. But time? Once spent, it's gone forever. You can't save it for later. You can't borrow more from tomorrow. You can't buy it back, no matter how rich you become. And here is the uncomfortable reality that most people spend their entire lives ignoring. If your life strategy is built around chasing money, you are quietly trading away your most valuable asset, your time. You're selling hours of your life that you can never recover. For what? For the promise that someday, after 40 years of this trade, you'll finally have enough money to enjoy the time you have left. But what if there's a better way? What if you could design your life so that time becomes abundant while you're still young enough, healthy enough, energetic enough to actually use it? Today, we're going to completely reframe how you think about wealth. We'll break down why high income does not equal wealth and often creates deeper traps, how society conditions people to sell their lives cheaply and why we accept it, the difference between being rich in money and rich in time, they're not the same, and how fastlaners design their lives around time freedom, not paychecks. Listen closely. This episode is not about motivation. It's not about hustle culture or working harder. This is about awareness. Once you see time as the real currency, you can never unsee it. And that awareness will change every decision you make from this day forward. Let's begin. Part 1. The Great Lie. More money will fix everything. From the moment you could understand language, time equals 300 milliseconds greater than / you've been taught a simple equation. More money equals better life. The narrative goes like this. Get good grades, get into a good school, get a good job, earn a higher salary, success. It's so deeply embedded in our culture that questioning it feels almost rebellious. Your parents believed it, your teachers reinforced it, society rewards it. And while money absolutely does solve certain problems, poverty, debt, basic security, it creates a dangerous illusion that earning more is the same as winning. But here's the truth. Most people never confront until it's too late. If your income depends on your presence, if money stops when you stop, then you are not wealthy. You are renting survival. Real example, Dr. Sarah. Let me introduce you to Dr. Sarah. Sarah is a 42-year-old orthopedic surgeon. She makes $380,000 a year, a salary most people would call rich. Her colleagues respect her. Her parents are proud. On paper, she's successful. But here's Sarah's reality. She works 70 to 80 hours per week, including nights and weekends on call. She hasn't taken a real vacation in 3 years. The last one was interrupted by 4 emergency calls. Her marriage is strained. Her husband jokes that he schedules appointments to see her. Her kids are 8 and 11. She's missed more soccer games than she's attended, more school plays than she's seen. She's exhausted, physically, mentally, emotionally. Last month, Sarah did something she'd never done before. She calculated her actual hourly rate. $380,000 divided by 52 weeks, divided by 75 hours per week, equals $97.43 per hour. Wait, $97 per hour is excellent, right? Yes. But here's what Sarah realized. Every single dollar depends on her showing up. If she gets sick, income drops. If she wants a sabbatical, income disappears. If she reduces hours to see her kids, income cuts proportionally. She makes nearly $400,000 per year, but has zero time freedom. She can't take a Tuesday off spontaneously, travel for a month, step away from work without financial consequences, choose how her days unfold, reduce hours without losing her lifestyle. Sarah is participating in the same fundamental trade that a $15 per hour barista makes. Time for money. The only difference? Sarah's hourly rate is higher, but the prison is the same. Her time is not her own. The illusion of high income. This is what DeMarco calls the great lie of modern work culture. We've been conditioned to believe that how much you earn per hour is the metric that matters. $15 per hour equals struggling. $50 per hour equals doing well. $100 per hour equals successful. $200 per hour equals rich. But this entire framework is flawed because it ignores the fundamental question: how many hours of your life are you selling? If you're selling 40 hours per week for 40 years, you're selling 40 hours times 52 weeks times 40 years equals 83,200 hours of your life. That's 9.5 years of continuous, non-stop time. Actually lived experience? More like 20 to 25 years when you account for the fact you're only working 8 hours of each 24-hour day. 25 years of your waking life, sold. And here's the brutal part. Those are often your best years. Your 20s, when you have energy and health. Your 30s, when you have ambition and strength. Your 40s, when you have wisdom but still vitality. Your 50s, when you finally have experience but your body starts declining. By the time you retire at 65, you get your time back. But now, your knees hurt, your energy is lower, your kids are grown, your adventurous spirit has dimmed, your health requires maintenance. You traded your prime for money, and you can never ever get those hours back. Society's conditioning. Why do we accept this trade so easily? Because we're conditioned from childhood. That's just how life works. Get a job, work hard, be grateful for a paycheck. Don't complain. This is what responsible adults do. We're taught that selling our time is not just normal, it's virtuous. Hard work pays off. Put in your time. Earn your keep. But DeMarco asks the question no one wants to hear. What if hard work in the wrong system just makes you exhausted, not wealthy? What if you're working hard in a system specifically designed to keep you working? The entire employment model is built on this premise. You trade the hours of your life for money that barely covers your expenses, so you have to come back tomorrow and trade more hours. It's not a conspiracy, it's just the system. And the system works brilliantly for the system. For you, it's a slow extraction of your life force, one paycheck at a time. Part 2. Why time is more valuable than money. Time equals 1.5 seconds / Here's a truth that sounds simple but changes everything once you truly internalize it. Money is renewable. Time is not. Let me say that again. You can lose all your money today and make it back tomorrow, next month, next year. Businesses fail and get rebuilt. Fortunes are lost and regained. Bankruptcy doesn't mean permanent poverty. But you cannot rewind yesterday. You cannot get back. The birthday party you missed, the conversation you didn't have, the experience you postponed, the relationship you neglected, the year you spent in a job you hated. Every hour you spend is a withdrawal from a finite account. And unlike your bank account, you don't know the balance. You might have 50 years left, you might have 50 days. No one knows. And yet, most people treat time like it's infinite. The time poverty epidemic. DeMarco introduces a concept that flips traditional poverty on its head. You can be financially comfortable and still be desperately poor, poor in time. Ask yourself these questions honestly. Can you take a random Tuesday off without asking permission? If not, you don't control your time. Can you choose how your entire day unfolds from the moment you wake up? If not, someone else owns your hours. Can you walk away from your obligations tomorrow without financial fear? If not, you're trapped, no matter how much you earn. Can you spend a month doing absolutely nothing productive without anxiety? If not, you're addicted to productivity that isn't building freedom. Most people live like this for decades, telling themselves, "I'll enjoy life later. I just need to get through this project. After I get promoted, I'll slow down. Once the kids are in college, I'll travel. When I retire, I'll finally do what I want." But later is not guaranteed. Real example, James's wake-up call. James was 47, senior VP at a Fortune 500 company, $240,000 salary, corner office, respect, status. He'd been telling himself for 15 years, just a few more years, then I'll ease up. He was going to travel to Japan with his wife. They'd been talking about it for a decade. Learn guitar, hadn't touched the one in his closet in 8 years. Spend real time with his teenage daughters before they left for college. Write that book he'd been thinking about. Just a few more years. Then James had a heart attack. Not fatal, but serious enough to spend 4 days in ICU with nothing but time to think. And sitting in that hospital bed, connected to monitors, James did the math. He'd worked 60 to 70-hour weeks for 23 years. That's approximately 70,000 plus hours. At 16 waking hours per day, that's 4,375 full days, or 12 years of his waking life. 12 years. For what? A retirement account he might not live to use? A house he was barely in? A career that would replace him in 30 days if he died? James recovered, and he quit his job 6 months later. His colleagues thought he was crazy. His friends called it a midlife crisis. But James finally understood what DeMarco teaches. True wealth is measured by control over your time, not the size of your bank account. The time freedom test. Here's a simple test DeMarco suggests. Count how many hours per week you must work to maintain your lifestyle. Now subtract that from 168, the total hours in a week. Subtract another 56 for sleep, 8 hours times 7 days. What's left is your free time. But is it actually free? Or is it recovering from work exhaustion, collapsed on the couch, preparing for tomorrow's work, meal prep, ironing, planning, escaping from stress, mindless TV, social media scrolling? Too tired to do what you actually want. When you account for that, most people have maybe 10 to 15 hours per week of truly discretionary time where they have the energy and freedom to do what they actually want. That's 1.5 to 2 hours per day, out of 24 hours. That's 6 to 9% of your life that's actually yours. Let that sink in. The time awareness shift. Here's what DeMarco discovered. Most people go through life asleep. They don't track where time goes. They don't question whether activities are worth their life. They don't calculate the opportunity cost. They just drift. Wake up, go to work, come home, eat, sleep, repeat. Years pass. And suddenly they're 45, wondering where it all went. But once you develop time awareness, everything changes. You stop spending time carelessly. You become selective. Is this worth my finite life? Intentional? Does this align with my real goals? Strategic. Does this buy me future freedom or just maintain the status quo? Part 3. The poverty of high income. Now we get to one of the most dangerous traps in modern society, something DeMarco calls luxury slavery. This is when your high income becomes the very chain that binds you. Here's how it works. The lifestyle inflation trap. Step 1. Income increases. You get a promotion. $60,000 becomes $85,000. Congratulations. You made it. Step 2. Lifestyle. Inflates to match. You immediately move to a nicer apartment. $1,200 becomes $1,900 per month. Lease a better car. $350 becomes $550 per month. Eat out more frequently. Upgrade your wardrobe. Take nicer vacations. Buy a few rewards for your hard work. Within 6 months, your expenses have risen to match or exceed your income. Step 3. Expenses lock you. And now you need that $85,000. You can't take a pay cut. You can't reduce hours. You can't take a risk. You definitely can't quit. Your increased income didn't buy freedom. It bought better-looking obligations. Step 4. The trap tightens. Time equals 800 milliseconds / next promotion. $85,000 becomes $120,000. Same cycle. Bigger house with a mortgage. 2 car payments now. Private school for kids. Country club membership. Nicer everything. Now you're trapped at $120,000. One more promotion. $150,000. Now you're really trapped. Real example. The Martinez family. Carlos and Elena. Martinez are both 38. Combined household income. $275,000. They should feel wealthy, right? Instead, they feel stuck. Here's their reality. Housing, $4,200 per month. Mortgage on 4-bedroom house in good school district. Cars, $1,350 per month. BMW X, 5 lease plus Mercedes C-Class lease. Private school, $2,800 per month for 2 kids. Insurance, $800 per month. Health, home, auto, life. Retirement. Savings, $2,000 per month to stay on track for 65. Food and groceries, $1,500 per month. Utilities and services, $600 per month. Entertainment and dining, $1,200 per month. Miscellaneous, $1,000 per month. Total, $15,450 per month equals $185,400 per year. After taxes on $275,000, roughly 35% effective, they take home about $178,750. They're actually running a deficit of $6,650 per year. Wait, they make $275,000 and they're going backward? Yes. This is luxury slavery. They can't. Quit their jobs, obligations too high, reduce hours, need every dollar, take sabbaticals, can't afford the gap, make career pivots, can't risk the income drop, move to lower cost of living area. Kids in school, careers tied to city. The bigger the house, the bigger the bills. The better the cars, the longer the commute to afford them. The higher the salary, the harder it becomes to walk away. They don't own their lifestyle owns them. The golden handcuffs. This phenomenon is so common in corporate America that there's a term for it: golden handcuffs. Companies know that once you reach a certain salary, you become dependent. You can't leave because, where else would I make this much? I can't take a pay cut. I need this for my family. Just a few more years for the bonus, stock options, pension. The handcuffs are golden, but they're still handcuffs. And the tragic irony? Time equals 1 second / the more you earn, the heavier the chains. Part 4. The Fastlane. Perspective on time. Now let's talk about how Fastlaners think about time completely differently. The shift in perspective. Slow laners ask, how much does this pay per hour? Fastlaners ask, how many hours of my life does this buy back in the future? This question changes everything. Real example, the website decision. Imagine you're deciding whether to build a software tool. Slow lane thinking, this will take 400 hours to build. That's 10 weeks of full-time work. If I worked a job instead, I'd make $20,000 in that time. Not worth it. Fast lane thinking, this will take 400 hours up front, but if it generates $3,000 per month passively, that's $36,000 per year. In year 2, that's a 90-to-1 return on my time investment. That 400 hours buys back thousands of future hours. See the difference? The slow laner measures time spent. The fast laner measures time bought. The time leverage formula. Fast lane thinking prioritizes. 1. Systems over schedules. Don't trade hours for dollars. Build systems that generate dollars without your hours. Example. Bad. Freelance graphic design. $100 per hour, time required per dollar. Better. Design templates sold on a marketplace. $30 each, sold while you sleep. 2. Assets. Over wages. Don't work for money. Build things that make money work for you. Example. Bad. High-paying consulting. $300 per hour, income stops when you stop. Better. Online course teaching what you consult on. $497, sold indefinitely. 3. Leverage over labor. Don't do everything yourself. Use money, people, and technology to multiply your time. Example. Bad. Personally fulfilling every customer order. Better. Automated fulfillment system that processes orders without you. The fast lane work intensity curve. Here's what fast lane effort looks like over time. Year 1 to 2. Intense. Effort 60 to 80-hour weeks. Building systems, creating products, establishing processes, learning skills, front-loading the work. Year 3 to 4. Leverage. Kicks in systems. Start running. Income continues with less input. 40 to 50-hour weeks. More strategic, less tactical work. Year 5 and beyond. Time. Freedom systems mature. Income flows with minimal time. 20 to 30-hour weeks or less. Work becomes choice, not necessity. Compare this to the slow lane curve. Year 1 to 40. Constant effort. 40 to 50-hour weeks forever. No change in time requirement. Income tied to presence. Same trade year after year. Year 40 and beyond. Reduced income. Retirement with reduced income. Time freedom finally arrives. Health and energy diminished. The fast lane front-loads the pain for exponential gain. The slow lane spreads the pain evenly for linear or declining results. Part 5. The deadly comfort of someday. Someday is the most expensive word in the English language. Someday I'll travel the world. Someday I'll start that business. Someday I'll learn that skill. Someday I'll spend real time with my kids. Someday I'll live the life I actually want. But here's what DeMarco forces you to confront. Someday is not a plan. Someday is procrastination disguised as hope. The someday trap. The slow lane sells you on someday. Work hard for 40 years. Save diligently. Invest wisely. Sacrifice now. Delay gratification. And someday, when you're 65, 67, 70, you'll finally get to enjoy life. Someday you'll have time to travel, freedom from obligations, financial security, the life you dreamed about. But there are fatal flaws in the someday plan. Flaw number 1, someday assumes you'll make it. What if you don't make it to 65? Heart attack at 52. Cancer diagnosis at 58. Stroke at 61. Someday assumes you'll be alive to collect on the promise. But there's no guarantee. Flaw number 2. Someday assumes you will be healthy. Even if you make it to 65, What condition will you be in? Will you have the energy to hike Machu Picchu? The mobility to backpack through Europe? The health to do everything you postponed? Or will you be managing chronic pain, medications, limited mobility, health conditions from decades of stress? Flaw number 3. Someday assumes relationships. Will wait. Your kids won't be 8 years old when you're 65. They'll be 35, with their own lives, kids, obligations. That trip you wanted to take with your spouse? What if health issues make it impossible by then? That time with aging parents? They might not be here in 20 years. Relationships don't pause while you work. They evolve, change, or disappear. The Fastlane urgency. The Fastlane demands a different relationship with time. Not someday. Now. Not recklessly. Not without planning, not stupidly, but with urgency born from awareness that time is finite. The Fastlane says, I want freedom while I still have my health, energy, and the people I love around me. Not at 65, at 35, at 40, at 45. While there's still time to travel with young kids and create memories, adventure with a healthy body, spend years pursuing passions, build something meaningful, live multiple lives within one lifetime. The question that changes everything. DeMarco asks a simple question. Do you want comfort now and regret later, or discipline now and freedom sooner? The slow lane chooses comfort, stable job, comfortable, predictable income, comfortable, low risk, comfortable, following the script, comfortable, and gets regret later, wasted decades, missed experiences, deferred dreams, time gone forever. The fast lane chooses discipline, delayed gratification, uncomfortable, high effort upfront, uncomfortable, taking risks, uncomfortable, building when others are coasting, uncomfortable, and gets freedom sooner, time with family while kids are young, health to enjoy adventures, financial security in your prime, decades of choice instead of obligation. Part 6. The 168-Hour Truth. Let's make this brutally practical. Let's do an exercise that will show you exactly where your life is going, and whether you're buying freedom or selling your soul 1 hour at a time. The weekly time audit. Grab a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. Because we're about to do some math that most people avoid their entire lives. Every single week has 168 hours, not 169, not 167, exactly 168. That's your entire life, measured out in 7-day increments. The question is, where are those hours actually going? Step 1. Account for sleep. Sleep. How many hours did you actually sleep last week? Not how many you should sleep. Not your ideal. Your actual sleep. Most people sleep about 7 hours per night. 7 hours times 7 nights equals 49 hours. Remaining, 119 hours. That's what you have to work with for your waking life. Step 2. Account for work. Now here's where people lie to themselves. They say, I work 40 hours a week. But let's be honest about what work actually consumes. Your actual work time. Hours at your job. Be honest, is it really 40 or is it 45 to 50? Commute time, both ways, every day. Getting ready for work. Shower, dress, breakfast rush. After hours emails and calls. Thinking about work, Sunday night anxiety. Work social obligations. Happy hours you feel you should attend. Add it all up. For most people, this is 50 to 60 hours per week. Let me break down a real example. Michael's 40-hour work week. At the office, 45 hours. He never leaves exactly at 5 p.m. Commute, 7.5 hours. 45 minutes each way, 5 days. Getting ready, 5 hours. 1 hour each morning. After-hours emails, 3 hours. 30 minutes per night checking phone. Sunday night prep and anxiety, 2 hours. Michael's real work. Total, 62.5 hours. Michael doesn't work 40 hours. He works 62.5 hours. His remaining time, 56.5 hours. What about you? Be brutally honest. Add up everything that exists because of your job. Step 3. Account for life maintenance. This is all the adulting nobody warns you about. Cooking and eating, 15 to 22 hours per week. Cleaning and household, 9 to 13 hours per week. Errands and maintenance, 5 to 9 hours per week. Administrative life. Bills, finances, paperwork, 3 to 6 hours per week. Life maintenance. Total, 20 to 30 hours. These are the hours that disappear into the black hole of basic survival. You're not building anything. You're not enjoying anything. You're just maintaining. Remaining after life maintenance, 26.5 to 36.5 hours. Step 4. Account for obligations. These are the things you do because you feel you should. Family obligations, 3 to 5 hours. Social events out of politeness, 3 to 5 hours. Kids' activities, if applicable, 5 to 15 hours. Religious or community commitments, 2 to 4 hours. Other shoulds, 2 to 3 hours. Obligations, total, 10 to 20 hours. Remaining, 6.5 to 26.5 hours. Step 5. The brutal reality. Now look at what's left. For most people, it's 6 to 27 hours per week. That's your free time. But wait, is that time actually free? Let's be honest about what you're doing with those hours. The hidden time drains. Recovery and exhaustion, 8 to 12 hours. Collapsed on the couch after work. Weekend recovery because you're too tired to do anything. Mindless scrolling because you're mentally drained. Work. Preparation, 5 to 8 hours. Meal prep for the week. Ironing, organizing clothes. Planning and organizing for work. Escapism, 5 to 10 hours. Netflix binges. Social media rabbit holes. Video games or other numbing activities. Add those up, 18 to 30 hours. The final number. Here's what most people discover. After sleep, work, life maintenance, obligations, recovery, preparation, and escapism, they have 10 to 15 hours per week of truly discretionary time. Let me say that differently. Out of 168 hours, you control about 10 to 15. That's 1.5 to 2 hours per day. That's 6 to 9% of your entire life. Let that sink in. You live in a world where you sleep 29% of your life. Necessary. You work and recover from work 40 to 45% of your life. You maintain basic survival 15 to 20% of your life. You fulfill obligations 6 to 10% of your life. And you actually live 6 to 9% of your life. 91 to 94% of your life is spoken for. You own 6 to 9%. Is that acceptable to you? Outro. The real definition of wealth. Let's bring this home. Money is a tool. Time is life. They are not the same thing. The wealthy don't chase money endlessly. They use money to buy back their time. That's the whole game. The ultimate question. DeMarco leaves you with one question that should haunt you, in a good way. If your plan requires you to work forever, it is not a wealth plan. Read that again. If you must work until 65 to survive, if income disappears the moment you stop working, if your lifestyle requires constant labor, that's not wealth. That's employment. Wealth is when your time is your own. Your income continues without your labor. You work by choice, not necessity. Freedom is the default, not the distant dream. The two paths summarized. The slow lane path. Trade time for money for 40 to 50 years. Save 10% of income diligently. Invest in mutual funds. Hope the markets cooperate. Time equals 500 milliseconds / hope you stay healthy. Hope you make it to 65. Get time freedom when life is mostly over. The Fastlane path. Build systems that generate income without your time. Front-load effort strategically. Create leverage through assets. Detach income from hours. Achieve time freedom in your prime. Live the life you want while you still can. One path trades your life for money. The other path uses money to buy back your life. Which one are you on? What comes next? In the next episode, we're going deeper into the slow lane lie. We're going to expose why save and invest for 40 years is the riskiest financial strategy most people never question. How compound interest is weaponized to keep you working. Why the 401k is brilliant for companies, terrible for you. What happens when everyone follows the same script? Hint: the system breaks. You'll discover why the safe path might be the most dangerous choice you can make. But for now, I want you to do something. Your assignment. Before the next episode. Number 1. Do your time audit. Write down where your 168 hours went this week. Be brutally honest. Number 2. Calculate your time. Freedom. How many hours per week are truly yours? Not recovery time, not obligation time, actual freedom. Number 3. Ask yourself one question. If you continue on your current path for 10 more years, where will you be? More free or more trapped? If the answer is more trapped, you know what you need to do. The final truth. You're already spending time. Every moment, every hour, every day. The question is not whether you'll spend it. The question is, what are you buying with it? Freedom or just survival? Progress or just maintenance? A life you design or a life that happens to you? Time is the currency of life. Spend it wisely. The fast lane is waiting.